Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, as you take a look at temperatures here on Monday morning, they continue to be reflective of our upper level pattern here, one that features a big ridge across much of central and northern Canada, allowing a lot of warmth to surge northward. Teens near 20s already here at just 8 o'clock in the morning here, well into northern Canada. Of course, all the cool air being forced southward now across portions of Ontario and down across the Great Lakes into the Midwest of the United States. First cool down that we've seen in these parts going all the way back to mid-June. So a very amplified jet stream leading to quite a bit of extremes. You can even continue the jet stream on over here, another ridge across the northeastern United States, temperatures into the mid-20s already across far eastern Canada. So we look at the last 24 hours of lightning activity. As expected, it was concentrated across northern and western portions of Alberta, kind of along the northern border between Alberta and British Columbia, and then on eastward from there. And some of that activity does continue here early this morning. You can see the very bright white cloud tops here across northwestern Alberta. That is thunderstorm activity that is still ongoing across the region, and we've got a frontal boundary that extends off to the south there, and we're going to see additional shower and storm activity developing off to the south as we head to the later part of the day today. So a broad picture looking at the entire prairie. Here is that shower and storm activity off to the north and to the west. We can zoom in actually, looking at the Edmonton radar. Quite a bit of activity popping up just to the south and to the west of Edmonton this morning. Quite a bit of lightning in there, maybe even some hail as well. Hail is going to continue to be the severe weather threat as it relates to severe storms as we head through the rest of the day today and then into tomorrow. We've got heat advisories, heat warnings in place, though, where we got the red shading as well. So a hot pattern here and one with a couple opportunities for storms as we head through the next 48 hours. So let's check in with the NAM model. That'll show us the activity here as we head through the day today. Again, this morning, a cluster of storms just off to the west of Edmonton. That activity could continue into the mid-afternoon hours, again beginning to expand off to the south as we head through the remainder of the day, crossing into central and southern portions of Saskatchewan this evening, and then continuing into the overnight. Now, this area of low pressure is going to continue off to the east into portions of southern Saskatchewan and Manitoba tomorrow, but as it heads off to the west, and I'll show you this on another map, we're going to be encountering quite a bit of dry air. You know, we've got cooler and drier air coming in from the east, so as this storm system moves into the eastern portions of the prairie, it's really going to run out of its moisture. So the upper level disturbance will be there, but the widespread thunderstorm activity is going to come to an end. If we take a look at our internal thunderstorm index here, this is for 4 p.m. this afternoon. Again, picking up a pretty good environment here in the Calgary area for some thunderstorms to erupt during the mid-afternoon, with hail being the primary threat. And as we head into tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon, 4 p.m. again, the chance for some thunderstorms here across central and southern portions of Saskatchewan during the afternoon, pushing into southern Manitoba during the evening. But again, the environment really begins to become quite tame as we see a lot of cooler and drier air spilling into eastern Canada and parts of the central United States. Now we'll take a look at the upper level pattern. Again, broadly, we're underneath a ridge here in Canada. So you can follow the jet stream flow well off to the north and then diving back down here across the Great Lakes. So this is our ridge. This is what's keeping that warm pattern in place here, and it's also what's kind of keeping the thunderstorm activity a little more isolated and scattered in nature and not so widespread. So broadly speaking, here's the ridge, but then here is our short wave. This is our wave that's bringing the thunderstorm activity to portions of central and southern Alberta later on today. We'll see this little short wave continue off to the east as we head into the day on Tuesday, kind of diving down off to the south beneath that ridge. And so again, the environment drier across southern Manitoba, and the upper level system diving off to the south of southern Manitoba. So that's why we see the thunderstorm threat over the next 36 hours kind of in this region, but then trailing off as you head off toward the east. So then as we head into the mid to late part of the week, what do you see? Well, we've got, broadly speaking, ridging across the prairie again. We've got a pretty cool little compact low making its way up and over the top of the ridge, but as we talk about the ag belt here, we're under ridging. We're going to be hot again with drier weather expected until we get to the late part of the week. When you look off to the west, we've got another wave pushing in here across the Pacific into southern Alberta, so this will be the next time that we bring a chance of showers and storms in across the prairie as we get into the mid to late part of the week here, Friday into Saturday, and this one will then also travel from west to east across the prairie. So as we look at moisture across the region, precipitable water here, where you see the green shading, that's where we've got deep moisture. The brown shading is where it's a bit cooler. So we've got this cooler, or not cooler, but a bit drier, not necessarily cooler, although this is a cool, dry air mass coming in from the east. Now as we get this into motion, I'm going to hit play, can watch the first system making its way from west to east across the region. You see the moisture plume right here, bringing that chance for showers and storms this afternoon, the chance of showers and storms tomorrow afternoon, where the moisture remains. But then as it begins to move off to the east, you see it really, the greens fading there as it moves into that drier air mass as we get off over towards portions of central and southern Manitoba. So the chance for storms highest today, a little lower tomorrow, and then as we get into Manitoba on Wednesday, really trailing off there. So we'll bring back a ridging pattern, warmer, drier across the prairie mid to late week before another storm system, you remember Friday into Saturday, comes pushing in from the west. You can already see it here. Look at that classic curl being illustrated by the European model with this moisture coming up and over the top of that area of low pressure. And again, where you see the convergence between the drier air wrapping in here, the moisture wrapping up and over the top, this is your battle zone where you would expect to get some thunderstorms erupting. So we'll have to watch this as we get into the late part of the week. Again, this is right around Friday into Saturday, looking for the return to a stormy pattern, or at least the opportunity for some more organized thunderstorm activity across the prairie as we get into the end of the week. Our temperatures, well, they're going to be, again, broadly speaking, with the ridge in place across the Canadian prairie, across much of Canada. Warm weather will be the default state, but as each one of these little systems makes its way through, we're going to see opportunities for cooler temperatures. So the cool spot as we head through the next 5 days is going to be southern portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba, with warmth across parts of Alberta and then spreading into northern portions of Canada here, northern portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. But then we get our potential late week system. As this one moves in here Friday into Saturday, cooler air would be expected to come in on the backside there, so that would cool off portions of Alberta as we get into the later part of the week. So as we take a look at precipitation, then we'll just put this into action. I've already kind of teased things, the setup, without showing you this, so we should have a pretty good understanding of what we're looking at. And again, as we head through the first part of the day today, shower and storm activity across the northern half of Alberta, and then as we head into the afternoon and evening, look for scattered storms to pop up across central and southern portions, the southern half of Alberta, maybe a strong storm or two in the Calgary area producing some large hail. As we head into the afternoon or the overnight into Tuesday, look for a scattered, isolated showers and storms moving across much of Saskatchewan. And then as we get into the late afternoon and evening hours, the low risk for maybe a strong storm or two across far southern Saskatchewan into southwestern Manitoba, before this system kind of dives off to the south, becoming more of a problem for the U.S. That leaves us with dry conditions as we get into late Wednesday into Thursday. It's not until we get into the day on Friday that we expect to see our next area of low pressure beginning to emerge across the prairie, and that would bring a renewed chance for some showers and storms to much of central and southern Alberta and Saskatchewan as we get into, right now it looks like Friday afternoon and evening, with this system tracking from west to east, obviously impacting then eastward portions of the prairie as we get into the weekend. So that's something we'll talk about Wednesday and Friday. Right now we just understand that we've got this low chance for some showers and storms across primarily Alberta and Saskatchewan as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. There it is right now, before we dry out Wednesday, Thursday into much of Friday, bringing a renewed chance for showers and storms from west to east Friday into Saturday. So smoothing things out, looking at the ensemble forecast probability or the forecast precipitation between now and Saturday. So this takes us through the week into the first half of the weekend. Where you see the yellow shading, that's where we're getting north of an inch or 25 millimeters of precipitation. This is in the Edmonton area. North from there, again, much of the heavier precipitation should be across the northern half of Alberta, getting into far northern Saskatchewan. A little ribbon here where you see the blue shading, that's where we're talking about half an inch or about 12.5 millimeters of precipitation. Looks like the best corridor for that is going to be across portions of southern Saskatchewan, and that's where we get the opportunity for some showers and storms tomorrow. And then also the chance for some showers and storms as we get into the later part of the week, Friday into Saturday. Driest across portions of southern Alberta, and then probably across eastern portions of Manitoba. That's going to be the dry spots as we head through the next 6 to 7 days. Look at your high temperatures here in Calgary. Again, upper 20s for the next several days. That potential cool down over the weekend as our next storm system emerges, but quite warm over the next 4 days. Similarly in Edmonton, a little cooler today with rain and clouds in the area, but back near 30 degrees Wednesday and Thursday before we cool down into the weekend. Regina, you're going to be steady here in the mid to upper 20s through much of the week. Same thing in Saskatoon, and then the upper 20s to near 30 degrees Tuesday through Saturday here in the Winnipeg area. So a warm week here as we talk about things across the prairie with just spotty opportunities for some showers and storms. Have a great day, great start to your week. We'll talk to you again on Wednesday.